So you've talked about this a lot, but I just kind of want to put this in for new viewers who haven't heard you or anything like that or anything like this. Will Christians be here for the tribulations? And there's two very outstanding. There's a lot of Christians that believe we won't. There's a lot of Christians that believe we will. I think the best example in my mind, I think it's in Matthew 24, where he's talking to the apostles, and he says, they ask him, when are you coming back? And he says, right after the tribulations. That's what I think. I personally believe, I don't know, but we're going to be here for the tribulations. But just touch on that for a minute.
Well, I wrote a book. The book is behind you there on your, what on earth is about to happen, for heaven's sake. Let's see. I made a video series about it, the chart behind me, and this is a small version of the same chart. Until 1830, when a 15-year-old girl had a dream about the pre-tribulation rapture, the church always taught there's a 7-year period coming called the time of tribulation, and we get raptured out after the tribulation. We're going to go through some really hard times. Then there comes a time of wrath. See, tribulation is what the world does to us. And Jesus said you're going to have that, John 16. Wrath is what God does to the world, and God's children are not appointed unto wrath. That's where people get confused. When you say we're going to be here for the tribulation, they'll say, well, the Bible says we're not appointed to wrath. Right. Think what you just said. Okay? Well, the wrath comes after we're gone. I think that 1,020 days of wrath, which happens in the day of the Lord, and my chart has all hundreds of Bible verses referencing that. So we're up in heaven at the marriage supper of the Lamb. Then we come back down with Jesus to the Mount of Olives, and he splits it in half. And then he rules and reigns for 1,000 years from Jerusalem. If you look at Matthew 24, like you mentioned, Matthew, Mark, and Luke all have passages where the disciples start off asking him, Lord, when are you coming back and what's the sign? Matthew 24, Luke 21, Mark 13. When are you coming back? And he describes the tribulation for 20 verses. And he says down here in Matthew 24, 29, immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of heaven shall be shaken. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds. It just all fits with all the other verses, okay? With power and great glory. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds. So if you read Matthew 24, Mark 13, Luke 21, it couldn't be more clear. He's coming back after the tribulation when the sun and the moon go dark. And the sun and the moon going dark, I think everybody would notice that. The sun and the moon going dark is mentioned 10 times in the Bible. They're all on the chart right here or in the book behind you. So I believed in the pre-trib rapture for 40 years because that's what C.I. Scofield taught, and Dake Study Bible. And it's got to be true if Scofield said it. And it's just not true. Yeah. Not true at all.
That's what I believe as well.